Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's talk. I'm Shiv, and Indrajit Singh Gill, who has served in the services for many years. Of his many duties, in various training institutions within the Army. Before we let our speaker begin, I'd like to mention a couple of housekeeping rules we'd like you as Indians to keep in mind. First, keep your videos off and yourselves muted throughout the call. Secondly, refer to the screen if our speaker is you. And lastly, you may send in your questions in the chat box. We will post them to the speaker on your behalf in the second half of this call. Thank you, and sir, you may continue from here. Mr. Indrajit Singh, you may take over from here.
So are you able to hear us? Can you hear us?
Hello. I can hear you, but I think Shiv was a little low volume.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him a bit. We've introduced you. You can start the session.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I welcome you to this session where we will be talking as to how to join Indian Armed Forces as an officer. Some issue with the, yeah. I just want to tell you as to why you want to join the armed forces, because it is the most distinguished and honorable profession in the country. Getting commissioned in the armed forces as an officer, it is unparalleled in terms of satisfaction, adventurism, scope, and most of all, an honor when you serve the country. When you join the services, you have advantage of handsome salary and pension for self and wife after 1 month of till she dies. Medical facilities, which is free for you as well as your family. Transport facilities, we have service aircraft flying us from one corner of the country to the other. The vehicles and the other facilities which come with the uniform. Facilities to improve educational qualification. This part, HRD, those of you who are either in management stream or planning to go into MBA. Just to share with you that when I joined Armed Forces, I was undergraduate way back in 1968. And when I left Army in 1992, I had already acquired B Telecom, MSc Defense Studies, and MBA, all kind courtesy the uniform. Cheaper rail, air travel throughout the country, postings all over the country and knowing the countrymen. My first posting was in Kerala, in Trivandrum, and I've been through Kashmir, Bangladesh, Run of Kutch and Pakistan, Sindh. So you see the country, meet a lot of people and make friends. Also, army people, services people are sent to foreign countries on posting. It is a patriotic duty, serving for the nation, and if required, dying for the country for its safeguarding quality life, quality family life rather. Those of you who are near some cantonments, they are islands of cleanliness and greenery. Personality improvement, it comes in because of the training, because of the task you have, sharper analytical and decision-making skills come into you automatically, which help out even outside when you hang up the uniform. And many more facilities like clubs, golf courses, other facilities which make CTC carry home salary, which we talk in terms of much higher than what you otherwise see. And last but not the least, respect, pride and honor of being a man or a woman in uniform. Now I'll tackle this in two parts. One, I think most of you are 10+2 or on the verge of getting into the college or in the final year of college. So we will first take in detail the how to join when you're cleared or you're in the final year of 10+2. There is the one institute which is called National Defense Academy. It is in Khadgwasla, Pune. And the cadets come for Army, Navy and Air Force together. For 3 years they do the training together, and then after 3 years they go across to respective academies, which I'll show little later at the bottom of the screen. Eligibility already given, either cleared or appearing in 12th exam. Science, physics, mathematics, chemistry for Navy and Air Force and some streams of Army, plus any other stream like arts or commerce. Still you can join NDA, but you will not get into Navy and Air Force and technical or specialized arms in Army. Notification, newspapers in the country, even on the website of the Adjutant General Branch, twice in a year, December, June and December exams, and then 3 years at NDA, like I told you, further training at respected institutions. Indian Military Academy for Army, which is in Dehradun, Uttarakhand. Air Force Academy, Medak, Telangana. Naval Academy in Kannur, in Kerala. We also have another stream, which now for this, getting into through NDA, you have to appear in a competitive exam conducted by UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. Now that we will cover little later in the presentation. Next comes again with 10+2 stream. Another entry is called Technical Entry Scheme, TES in short. Location, it is an Officer Training Academy, Gaya in Bihar. And then training in respective centers like Pune, Sikandrabad and Mau for 3+1. That I will tell you little later in detail as to what 3+1 means. Eligibility, should have passed 12th exam, stream science, PCM, plus should have scored minimum percentage of 70 to 75% before you fill in the application for TES. Now this going to change from June 2021 to JEE score, so that cutoff will be decided based on what you score in JEE. And again, the notification comes up in all leading newspapers and also on the Army website. Now, this is where I was telling you 4 years as a cadet and 1 year as a commissioned officer. What it means, that means for 4 years, out of which 1 year is at OTA Gaya, and further 3 years training, you get back to Mau, Pune or Sikandrabad for the subjects which already I am indicating: electronics, telecommunication, civil engineering in Pune, electronics and electrical in Secunderabad. Now, this last 1 year as commissioned officer means that for last 1 year you will draw the salary of an officer still undergoing training. Now this comes to 6 figure which gets into your bank, which you can use after only when you pass out from the institute and become an officer posted to units. So this is as far as 10+2 scheme is concerned, that is NDA and TES. Now coming to little idea to you about the salary part. The lieutenant is a two-star officer. His start is 61,500, and next rank is captain, that comes in after 3 to 5 years, 67,400, plus you get military service pay 50,500, put together plus certain DA as it is applicable, you get something like 85,000, 90,000 rupees per month when you start the service. We have just covered these two 10+2 schemes available, NDA and technical entry scheme. There are other schemes also in the same how to get into the uniform. Indian Military Academy through a term called direct entry. DE stands for direct entry. You have to be a graduate or getting into graduation final year before you apply, and before you join the academy you should have cleared the graduation. Now coming to next, short service commission, non-technical. That means it can be any discipline, need not be science stream, for men as well as women. That is here, whereas NDA and IMA are only for male candidates. Women are not permitted so far, but it has been in the newspaper that it is likely to come in shortly. As and when it comes, you will be intimated. How to enter, what type of training, that I will be covering as individually. We cover all these streams. Then National Cadet Corps, NCC, some colleges and universities do have NCC for the students. Now that is a special entry for which again details I will cover once we get to that particular slide. Judge Advocate General. This is for the gentlemen and the ladies who take the legal stream, that means LLB, LLM, etc. Because army also, the services also require the legal minds. So they get into that as technical graduate course for engineers. Now here one has to be a qualified engineer in given stream, and then he goes through the selection process and the training details I'll cover as we proceed. Next one is technical graduate scheme. That is the this is again training is at Pachmadi and Military Academy, and thereafter you become an officer in the education field. Then coming to short service commission technical. Here we are seeing short service commission non-technical. This again is open for men and women. Details we will cover as I proceed with the presentation. And next comes the graduate entry scheme, which is for science stream and also for others, for Indian Air Force and Indian Navy. We will take these one by one. We come to NDA first. I told you there is a requirement of 10 plus 2 system, 12. And age you have to be clear 16 and a half to 19 and a half on the date when the course is to start. There is a minimum and the maximum is 19 and a half. Again, there will be application whenever they are given indicated they are October to November for January course, April for July course. There are 2 courses run in a year. NDA Khadagwasla is the place where the training is carried out. 3 years at NDA in Khadagwasla. Thereafter, 1 year in respective academies like Indian Military Academy, or the Air Force Academy in Karnataka, in Telangana, and the Air Force Academy, the Navy Academy in Kerala. Now this is, you have to be very clear, the non-science stream candidates or to Navy only get into the Army, and those who are with science background get into specialized technical arms. Rest will go to the other services and arms which don't require the science graduates. This is 10 plus 2 stream, TES, technical entry scheme. Age again same, because it is the same qualification which they are entering the academy. And from June 2021, JEE will decide the cutoff for Army. Now, again, similarly, the time, IMA Dehradun. Here, there is a training is for 5 years. 1 year in Gaya, where adopted training academy. Thereafter, you do 4 years degree course at government cost at Mau, Pune, and Sikandrabad. Streams I have already shown you: telecom, civil, and the airport, and the EMA, where I have shown you how for 1 year they go to later on do the training here as an officer, for which they'll get the salary also. So 5 years training, 1 year in Gaya, 3 years at Mau, Pune, and Sikandrabad, plus 1 year as an officer in the same 3 places until you pass out. Now this is the graduation entry, direct entry, qualification, graduation, 19 to 24 years. IMA Dehradun, 1.5 years is the training period. Here, the criteria for entry is through UPSC, CDS, Combined Defense Services Entrance Exam, which is held twice in a year by Union Public Service Commission, for which again you get the information, intimation through various newspapers, employment news, as well as the Army headquarters website. They tell you on that. Short Service Commission, non-technical men and women. This is, though short service is named, but then it is start with 5 years, extendable to 10 years. Now, and thereafter you again have an option to continue and go through a selection once again, or you want to quit, it is up to you. That includes the lady officers, 19 to 25. This is also a stream which is available to non-maths students. They can join OTA, graduates from any stream, but they will not get the technical arms in this case. after you become an officer. This is NCC entry, graduation, aggregate marks 50% in NCC senior division with minimum B grade. There are certificate examinations which you have to pass for earning the certificates A, B, and C. So you have to be clear. You should have cleared certificate C exam with minimum of B grade for going through the selection further, which is through SSB, Service Selection Board. Same training, 49 weeks. Judge, Advocate General, men and women, age 21 to 27, graduation, LLB, with LLB and LLM, 55% marks. You should be able to meet eligibility criteria for enrollment as senior advocate. Again, OTH Chennai, same qualification. We have moved from technical, so they have to be a qualified BE, BTech in notified engineering. Like we require telecom, maybe electrical, mechanical, or civil, notified. They are just a permanent commission. Technical graduate course, education, AEC. I think MA, MSc, whatever subject is notified. Now, this is short service commission technical for men and women. Again, the requirement is engineering degree in notified discipline, because that is what the services want. Then accordingly, you will be intimated and you apply if you are qualified, and it is a short service commission. You can leave after the contract period, or you can ask for extension or leave at that stage. Next is, I was talking to you about Indian Air Force and Indian Navy. This is again graduate entry scheme. Common test for all branches of IAF, Indian Air Force. They call it FCAT. Non-PCM candidates, they would go for administrative and logistics branches. They would go for the flying, navigation, or any other technical aspects, but then the entrance test is common. Indian Navy also does a similar test, and their requirement is also similar, administrative and logistics, PCM candidates. And thus generally 90% of seats are reserved for graduates and 10% for postgraduates who have little higher qualification. So that is again an avenue open. Already increases, and we have seen these two streams. Earlier I told you about 80,000 for a young officer to start, and then gradually there is an increase. How to go about it, that is important for you. There is a We talk about NDA, IMA, OTA. Written test by UPSC. 3 papers for NDA, IMA, and OTA. I have put an asterisk here. There are only 2 for OTA. OTA does not have maths paper in it, and all all 3 streams have maths, not for OTA, English, and general knowledge papers. 100 marks each, 2 hours each. OTA, like I said, they will only go through 2 papers, and thereafter they go for the results and the service selection board selection. So first you go for written exam. Those who are in the merit, they will get a call for SSB, as we call it, for further selection. Thereafter, once you are clear from SSB, you go for medical. There will be a merit list, and then you join the respective academies for training. Now, same holds true except for the written test for the technical stream, graduate entry, which we talked about, engineers, and the Army Education Code, as well as the JAG branch. We come to services selection board process. That is, once you clear the written, you are in the merit, you get a call, and you go for the test. We will not go into these details because they are at the moment little premature. First day screening test, they do look for your awareness. Next is psychological test. Psychology of a candidate is tested. Then there are group tests, which is again the selection process. On day 4, group test continues. And on the final day, there is a conference where inputs from psychologists, group test people, and people who contribute your conduct your interview, they are put together, and you have a conference where it is clarified to you whether you have made it or you are not made it. Once you have gone through this, we go to this, then you will go back to this stage for medical. You will be taken to military hospital where they'll check you for your general physique, any bones broken, eyesight, color blindness, and things like that. And then is the merit list and the academy. This is just the impression management to you. This is on your right hand side, you see a person, I don't know whether you can recognize him or not. He is Field Marshal Manik Shah. He was the army chief when we fought 71 Bangladesh war. And here, of course, I am getting a parchment from him for MSc Defense Studies in 1982 in Wellington. We talked about how you get pride in wearing the uniform. 3 are cadets. This gentleman is my son under training in 1999. These are his colleagues. Again, same training. His passing out in military academy in December 99. My father-in-law, who was a doctor in British Indian Army, he was in Battle of Burma. Here is I am as a veteran. We had gone for his passing out parade. My son, again with his instructor, who was in Indian Military Academy at that stage. As an officer in his battalion, 7 Mahar Regiment. This is just to tell you how adventurous one can become. This picture is in Trivandrum in December 1973. I am jumping through the fire ring. Now, what you should be doing, I think I am overshooting the time. Points to be kept in mind by you people. For any stream you are getting in, self-discipline, need no explanation. Physical fitness is very important. You have to be physically fit with no broken bones, no laser done in eyesight, not colorblind, and other illness. you should be free of it. Physical fitness is in your own hands, and it is a regular workout which will help you out. Knowledge of subjects which you are doing, no shallow knowledge, it won't work. Try communicating with each other, maybe even in discussion when you work on spoken and written English, Hindi, or whatever language you prefer, but it has to be clear. Table manners, of course, not applicable to Sikh candidates. Haircut, dressing sense for everybody, being well groomed. Personal conduct, including carriage. Awareness of general knowledge and current affairs. It is not one day dose you take and then you learn everything. It is a regular study. You go through yourself newspapers, editorials, some magazines, at least 1 hour for your self-study and individual improvement. You must read some books, magazines, and newspapers. General awareness, watching news, debates, etc. on TV or taking part in them. Try to develop a constructive hobby. Could be stamp collection, bird watching, even visiting historical places or other places of interest. Now, this is where educational institutions can also take the responsibility. Overall personality, focus on fitness, knowledge, depth, deep knowledge. Written language, I again told you, or spoken language. Don't use slangs, particularly in your conversation when you go for the selection board interview. And don't use the WhatsApp language. It won't work. Not that people who are testing you don't know it. They know it, but you're not supposed to be using it. Respect of parents and elders, turnout and discipline, general knowledge, current affairs, public speaking, history of the country and important eminent personalities, important dates and knowledge of international events, debates, extempore competitions that will help you out in the SSB interview, logic building, and organized quiz competitions, etc. Self-improvement, just rush through, honesty, integrity, inspiration, communication skills with friends, family, with the team, and with the younger ones. And don't stop learning. It is a continuous process as they teach in management. We all know it. Every day we learn something new. Like I am learning this, and I have never done this presentation earlier. Select aim in life and then prepare for it. This is more important. Selecting is all right, but if you don't prepare for it, it may not lead in success. Study well, play games, carry no stress. Don't feel stressed and hatash and niraj like are written down below, because if you fail sometimes, it is all learning process. Learn from it and try to improve on so that you don't commit the same mistake. Last one, social message. No plastic bags, save water, and nowadays maintain distance and keep the mask on. I have finished. I leave it to now the moderator should take on the questions. I try to answer. Thank
Okay,
you.
so sorry to interrupt you. So we will be asking a question at a time, and then I'll give you time to answer them.
Right, that is here.
Okay, so the first question is, how hard is the SSB interview that is conducted by the Army?
Okay, I thought probably the first question would have been how to prepare for the written exam, because SSB will come subsequently. But all the same, it is not very difficult. One is clear in 2-3 things. One, don't bluff around. That is primarily for interviews. Secondly, try to make a positive assessment of a situation which is given to you. And that comes in the personality. And number three is again the communication skill, which I have been talking about, because one would be interacting with other candidates whom he would not be knowing, he or she. So you have to be clear in communication what exactly you want the team to do. Also, how logically a job can be or a task can be done. Now, these three salient points which have to be kept in for the group tasking and leadership qualities. Plus, psychology part, you be fair and frank. Don't go with tutored mind. And last one is don't try to bluff around, because somebody who is trying to interview you, he has read through your profile which you have given yourself. Don't write anything false, because it will be located. So it is not difficult, but general awareness and being prepared for it, including the physical stamina, will see a person through. That is not difficult. Go with open mind. I hope I have answered this.
Is it very difficult for cadets to take holidays and visit their families at home?
Please repeat the question.
Is it difficult for cadets to take holidays and visit their families?
Okay, it is a good question because I did not cover it in the presentation. Every term has 6 + 2 days midterm break in the middle of the session. Like take a direct entry, there is 1.5 years training there in military academy. So if we started in January, sometimes in March and April beginning, there will be 6-8 days holidays. Then in June, he will come on 42 days leave home. Then sometimes in October, again 6 days leave. And in December, it will be 15 days leave. Now that is as far as training is concerned. And same goes for NDA, OTA also, but OTA training like is 49 weeks, so it will be only 2 terms. They'll have a mid-term and a term break in between. Emergencies, well, they can be case-to-case basis, but generally in between leave is not appreciated, and I don't think there should be a requirement. Otherwise, if there is a compassion, well, we are also human beings, so it goes the same way. It will be case-to-case basis.
Is the NCC program useful for the NDA stream? And if so, where should one do the program?
If I understood the question correctly, it is to say NCC stream helpful for NDA, is it?
Yes, that's the first part of the question.
Okay. Now, NCC is only inculcating a part of discipline in you, because the school NCC won't be imparting much of training to cadets who are in 8th, 9th or 10th standard, or even 10+1 and 10+2. So not exactly very helpful, and not many schools have NCC in the schools. Whereas the college stream of NCC, that is surely helpful for the military academy that I have already covered.
Where
What is the next? What was the second part of this question?
where would you recommend one does the NCC program?
No, it is NCCs and colleges which are affiliated to in each university to a NCC battalion or a company in that state. Under different states, there are different colleges which opt for it because they have to have a certain infrastructure and some professors trained for NCC in the NCC Training Academy, and then a program is given to them where state governments and university and the NCC Directorate help out, combine together and provide training instructors, hold camps, there are Republic Day parade and all selection. So all that is done. It is as per the university, as per the state government policies. Making selection of a college probably can help out a student as to before he joins the college, he must check on as to which college has an NCC affiliated to it, right?
Is the medical test only about physical fitness?
No, not only physical, it is also certain special qualities or special criteria in that, like for Indian Air Force, which is the flying branch, if they have to go, they'll be PABT, Pilot Aptitude Battery Test. That is for the, instead of going for costly testing of the candidate at the academy, it is already then selected at a place. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Now, there are some special tests which are carried out. So, with this pilot aptitude test, if you fail in that, you cannot go to the Air Force Academy. And also, you cannot apply for that test again. It is once in lifetime time. Similarly, there are certain criteria of height, weight, chest expansion, and leg length, depending again on, like Air Force, they have a specified leg length. Less than that, you can't enter the Air Force stream. So all that is tested. And I also made a mention of any tinkering with the eyesight. There are candidates who try to go through specialists for improving their eyesight. Now, that laser treatment candidate, treated candidate would be rejected medically. So that one has to be careful. No broken bones, no operated and rectified bones. But if you have glasses up to specified number, that is permitted. For Air Force and Navy, the eyesight has to be 6x6 without glasses for particular streams. I hope I have answered this.
Is there a difference in salary based on the stream taken?
To start with, no. But like two people pass out together in the similar stream, one is posted in Lucknow, other is posted in Siachen. So Siachen person will get a extra allowance, which is not applicable to a man who is in Lucknow or anywhere else. Similarly, in Navy and Air Force, people who go out on sea or who are flying a particular type of aircraft in a particular area, they'll have a different allowance. But generally to a average level of service, about 13 years, the salary increases are all in a batch, depending on number of years you have put in the service. Thereafter, there is a selection process. Those who go up the ladder, they get higher salary, higher position. Those who don't, they do not match them. It is not like what happens in the Group A services in civil, where if a man gets promoted and his batch gets promoted after 2 years automatically. Now that sort of a thing doesn't happen in services. So there it is different. But obviously, if somebody is instructor, as we call it a person who is teaching in a training college in the services. He's in our term called instructor. So he gets instructor allowance. It could be 12,000, 24,000 rupees per month in addition to his salary because he is teaching. Now that sort of a change differential is there. Yeah. Next
Are
question.
open school certificates for physics, chem, math valid in case somebody hasn't done it in +2?
Once again, the start part of it.
Are open school certificates for physics, chem, and math valid?
It says the requirement is maths and PCM in 10+2, and the testing maths is 10th standard. But I think open school part, I have my doubts. It will be worthwhile checking and reverting to the students. But at the moment, to the best of my knowledge, no.
When's the latest one can apply to join the armed forces in terms of age?
It is all okay. The point which I have not covered in the presentation here is a good question again, I'll say, is the Territorial Army Commission. Now, Territorial Army, one can, when he through his civil profession, up to 42 years of age, the person can go through Services Selection Board interview and get a commission in Territorial Army. That is the oldest person who can get in to the uniform. Otherwise, normal streams which I have shown you there is for school and college students. Maximum age is 27 years at the entry and 42, as I told you, for Territorial Army. Right?
What are the procedures to join the Indian Air Force for a woman?
You have to be a little louder.
What are the procedures to join the Indian Air Force for a woman?
For a
Woman, a female.
female, she can, like I told you, the entry for graduation, entry for Navy as well as for Air Force is open to the women also, but they have to be in the, if they are not science stream, they get to the logistics field, and if they are into the science stream, they can get into flying, as you have seen recently in the newspaper that so and so 3 lady officers flying the fighter planes, helicopters, and this is how it is possible to enter into the Air Force and the Navy.
Are there any positions in the army that cannot be procured by a woman?
Fighting arms, for one thing. Fighting arm, the one like infantry, armored corps, that is the tanks, and the artillery, because they are more into a role where it requires a, I'll not use the word determination, everyone has that. It is difficult for them to be in the areas where infantry operates, like on LAC or on international borders or even in war. So we don't want to endanger them, not that they cannot be there. There is a lot of debate going on that they should be inducted in all arms, but it is hazardous for them. For that reason, these arms, they are not allowed to get in at the moment. But in the days to come, probably, yes, it will happen. Like Israel, even US Army, even other armies of the Western countries, they have girls, but not exactly in infantry, right? Next,
How does one do well in the UPSC exam?
you have to apply for it uh, at the time when they ask for the application. There is a nominal fee, I think, of 200 rupees. And then you have to be ensuring when you fill up the application that you fulfill the eligibility criteria, uh, like citizen of the country, unmarried, for military academies, or Air Force Academy, or Navy Academy, or 10 plus 2 and graduation, unmarried male, unless it is specified. Also, you have to be citizen of the country, depending on the either by birth or by even if you come from people who came from Pakistan uh, during partition, or moved from Bangladesh or Burma, or even citizens of Nepal who are allowed. But then they have to be there in India before a cutoff date, and then you apply for it. And once you get a roll number, you appear an exam, and uh, you have to clear that qualifying educational exam also before you join the particular academy, be it NDA or IMA or Naval Academy or Air Force Academy.
Does one have an equally um, financial standard of living in the private sector and in the service industry?
Service is a not industry. There is no comparison. It is like comparing apples and oranges. The life in uniform, it results in overall development, all-round development, and also make you uh, fit and acceptable in the second career in civil if required. So the money-wise, it is comparable, there's no doubt. But then you talk of the pay scale which private sector pays. Well, that is not it is not mercenary army, it is the national army or national services, where we have a laid down standards scaled by Government of India. Whether it is more or less, it is more of satisfying the person. Plus the hidden non-quantifiable perks which you have like clubs, uh, environment which is clean, neat, green, the different or different standard or different lifestyle of cantonments, trainings which you undergo as a serviceman, and also the countryside you see, interact with people, and obviously the last but not the least, the honor, pride, and the feeling of being different than others who are not in uniform. It is always great. Not with me in money, right?
Is it true that you must know both English and Hindi to join the armed forces?
English, yes, because at the moment it is the common communication language. And Hindi, I'll use it is a national language again, but some part of the country people may not be very conversant or very fluent in the use of Hindi. Uh, so it is a working knowledge of Hindi, written or spoken, where you can communicate with the men. That is important. So far, all your tests, other than few which they have started now in UPSC, you have a Hindi question paper and English question paper. But then Both languages are required. Something like in civil, you have your textbooks in English, but when you're talking to your clients in English, communicating in English, so it is equally important to know both. But it is not a not knowing good Hindi or not knowing very good fluent English. It won't stop you being assessed into the uniform, right? And also, if you go to a particular regiment like Gurkha regiment or Maratha or Mahar regiment, you have to learn as an officer the language of the men, because you have to be communicating with them. So you have to pass an exam which is conducted after giving you training, so that you communicate well with the troops you command, or you're part of the unit, right?
The next question is, till what age does one work in the armed forces?
Till what age?
Does one work in the armed forces?
Okay. Or we talk about only officers at the moment. The general retirement of age of an officer is 54 years, and thereafter, as the rank increases, the age goes 2 years ahead. That means if you retire as a Lieutenant Colonel, 52, Brigadier will come home at 54 years, Major General 56, Lieutenant General 60, or General will come home at 62 years of age. So we can talk on minimum being 54 years, or on an average. That will be because maximum officers retire at the level of colonel, because the hierarchy is very steep, pyramid is very steep, and very few numbers go up to the Lieutenant General, Major General, Lieutenant General, and General. So we take 54 or 56 years as a retirement age of an officer.
Okay, so with that, we come to the end of all our questions. On behalf of all our speaker or all our audience members, we would like to thank you.
Welcome. It was nice interacting. And I must say, good questions. And that means message has gone home. I'll be very happy if some of the audience do take a step and step out to join the services. It will be a worthwhile effort from my part. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Best of luck. God bless.
Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you.